My name is Michael Cheever. I believe empowering entrepreneurs to build profitable businesses and invest in our youth will change the future of our planet. I choose to do that through real estate, and while that's my lane, the principles I've learned from great coaches, mentors, and life itself apply across every industry. I share this to equip you with what it takes to grow, lead, and win. In the entrepreneurial journey, there's one factor that matters more than any other in determining success. Yes, talent matters, strategy helps, connections are valuable, and having the right models is critical. But there's one thing that separates those who talk about success from those who live it. That one thing is consistent, focused action. Consistency builds discipline when motivation fades, momentum when progress feels slow, and resilience when challenges hit. And believe me, motivation will fade. There will be times when you feel like you're dragging a tractor uphill. You'll have momentum and then lose it. You'll get knocked down and have to get back up. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, doing the work, and adopting a fail-forward attitude. That is working hard. But before you go sprinting off to take consistent, focused action, let me give you the secret sauce. You can be incredibly consistent at the wrong thing. I could dig holes in my backyard for 3 hours a day, and while that's focused and consistent, it won't move me any closer to my financial goals. So, how do you make sure you're focused on the right things? To illustrate, let's talk about the Pareto principle. It was developed by Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto in the early 20th century. He observed that 80% of the wealth in Italy was held by just 20% of the people. He also noticed the same pattern in his garden. 20% of his pea pods produced 80% of the peas. Fascinated, Pareto expanded his research, and the same 80-20 pattern showed up across all kinds of situations. The Pareto principle tells us that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. In other words, to be both consistent and effective, you must identify the 20% of activities that generate the majority of your results and focus on those. That is working smart. When I started playing football in high school, our offensive line had 3 drills we did every single day: chutes, boards, and bags. Chutes were low metal cages. You'd line up across from a teammate, and on the whistle, one of you would fire off through the chute and hit the other. If you got too high, you'd hit your head on the metal cage. The chute trained you to stay low, because in football, the low man wins. Boards were massive, about 12 feet long. We do exercises over them with our feet wide apart. It taught us to maintain a wide, balanced base. Running with your feet wide is awkward and unnatural, but crucial for leverage and stability when big, strong people are trying to knock you down. The bags looked like heavy punching bags. Teammates would hold them as you ran through the chutes and over the boards. The goal: stay low, stay wide, and deliver force on impact over and over, day after day. As I got better in high school and realized I had a shot at playing in college, I thought surely I'd graduate past those drills. I mean, college players wouldn't have to do chutes, boards, and bags, right? Wrong. In college, the chutes were lower, the boards wider and longer, and the bags heavier. And yes, we did them daily. As I progressed and realized I might get the chance to play professionally, I thought once again, no way NFL players still have to do these basic drills from high school. Well, I got drafted, showed up to camp in Jacksonville, and there they were: chutes, boards, and bags. Only now, the bags were mounted on sleds with wheels and brakes. We'd run through the chutes that were lower and longer than in college with grates on top to ensure you were low the whole time. The boards were placed inside the chutes to keep your feet wide. And then when we hit the bags mounted on sleds, the coaches had a place to stand on top of the sled. They'd slam on the brakes when we hit it, forcing us to restart and rebuild momentum. It was brutal. But here's what I didn't realize back in high school and what I only truly understood years later. Chutes, boards, and bags were the 20% activities that drove 80% of my development as a lineman. Yes, strength, speed, and size matter. But the toughest players I ever went up against weren't always the biggest or fastest. They were the ones who trained themselves to stay low off the snap, to stay wide and balanced and explode through contact. They were the players who committed to the fundamentals, the ones who took consistent, focused action on the right things. They weren't just working hard, they were also working smart. Here's the point. Your level of success will mirror two things: how hard you work and how smart you work. Hard work was never my problem. I've always loved to grind. But during my first 15 years in real estate, I was missing the second piece. I wasn't working smart. In years 16 through 20, I changed that. I began applying smart strategy to my consistent effort, and in just 4 years, my income more than tripled, and I'm having way more fun doing it. You must identify the highest impact actions in your business. Then commit to consistency. Commit to doing it over and over and over again. Success in business and life comes on the other side of mastering the right fundamentals and implementing them consistently over time. Crush it. We're stronger together.